Most evenings end the same way for many people. The body feels tired, the mind feels full, and the easiest choice is to rest without thinking too much about tomorrow. After a long day, it can feel natural to shut everything down and tell yourself that survival is enough for now. Quietly, without realizing it, days begin to repeat. And somewhere inside, a small question waits. Is this all my life will be? Luke worked a low-paying job at a warehouse on the edge of the city. His shifts were long and physical, filled with lifting, sorting, and moving things that belonged to someone else. The pay covered rent and food, but little beyond that. By the time his shift ended, his back ached and his thoughts felt slow. On the bus ride home, he often stared out the window, watching familiar streets pass by, feeling as though his life was paused while everything else kept moving. For a long time, Luke followed the same routine every night. Dinner, a shower, and then rest that felt more like collapse than comfort. He did not hate his job, but he could feel how small it made him feel over time. He rarely spoke about it. Complaining seemed pointless, and hope felt like something better kept private. So he carried on, day after day, telling himself that this was simply how things were. One evening, after another exhausting shift, Luke noticed he could not settle. His body was tired, but his mind felt restless in a way that sleep would not solve. Almost without thinking, he opened an old laptop he had not used in months. He began reading simple lessons online, basic skills connected to work he had once been curious about but never pursued. The room was quiet. The noise of the day had faded, leaving only the soft glow of the screen and his own breathing. That night did not feel important at the time. Luke did not make a promise or set a goal. He simply spent a short while learning, then shut the laptop and went to bed. The next evening, he did the same. Slowly, without ceremony, it became part of his routine. Most nights, after work, he spent a small amount of time reading, watching tutorials, or practicing what he had learned. Some nights, he was too tired and stopped early. Other nights, he surprised himself by staying focused longer than expected. No one knew about this habit. Luke did not talk about it at work or bring it up in conversation. It felt personal, almost fragile. Progress was slow, and there were moments when he wondered if any of it mattered. His job stayed the same. His pay stayed the same. Nothing in his life changed on the surface. But something inside him was shifting. He felt more capable, more awake to his own potential. Learning, even quietly, gave his days a sense of direction they had been missing. Weeks passed, then months. The evenings became an anchor. While others rested to forget the day, Luke used that time to gently invest in himself. He did not rush. He did not compare his pace to anyone else. He focused on consistency, not perfection. Over time, his confidence grew, not because he had achieved something impressive, but because he had proven to himself that he could show up, even when no one was watching. Eventually, small changes became noticeable. Luke spoke with more clarity at work. He asked questions he would have once avoided. Opportunities appeared slowly, not as rewards, but as natural results of his quiet effort. When things improved, people noticed the outcome, not the evenings that made it possible. Luke did not correct them. He did not need to. What mattered most was that he no longer felt invisible to himself. Working in silence had given him something steady and real. Discipline, practiced quietly, had reshaped how he saw his future. And perhaps that is the lesson hidden in his story. Change does not always begin with attention or praise. Sometimes it begins in solitude, after a long day, when a tired person chooses to grow quietly instead of disappearing into rest. Those unseen moments may feel small, but over time, they can become the foundation of a life that finally starts to move forward.